Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration will come to order. We do have a quorum present. Representative Nash, did you get a chance to review the minutes?
I did, Madam Chair, and I would move the rules from May 1st.
Representative Nash moves the May 1st minutes. Any discussion, questions, changes? Representative Fortman.
I feel like I was here. But. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The minutes are approved. Members, I move that Joint Rule 2.03 be waived for House File 4459 and that it be placed on the General Register. That is the, my bill to remove the severe pervasive language, and it was the amendment that we voted on last night, but it's to be able to take this forward since it missed the rules deadline. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion prevails. I move that Joint Rule 2.03 be waived for House File 3196 and it be placed on the General Register. This is Representative Fenton's bill. Representative Fenton, can you briefly explain your bill and the reason that it's here?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members. This is the Step Therapy Protocol Override Bill. It's the result of many hours of work of the stakeholders. The bill did go through all the committees. However, the MMB misrepresented the bill when doing the fiscal note. It originally had a fiscal note of just under $800,000. But once they went back to review, it has a $0 fiscal note. So it's just, it was in the bill last night, but it's to get it to the General Registry.
Representative Portman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Fenton, I just think it would be better if we avoid words like misrepresent. I mean, it'd be one thing to say they gave one fiscal note and they revised the fiscal note, but I think we shouldn't assign motives to people. I just think in our debate, as much as we can avoid that, whether we're talking about each other or the administration, be better for the process.
Senator Fenton?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I think as we had a discussion, that is the word that they used. And it just was a communication breakdown. They did not reach out to make sure that they were understanding the bill, how it was written. But it's so noted, so thank you.
Representative Portman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think just the word mistake maybe is a little bit more accurate in this case than misrepresentation. Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion prevails. I move that Joint Rule 2.03 be waived for House File 1440 and that it be re-referred to Ways and Means. Representative Baker, this is your bill. If you could briefly explain.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Again, this is going to be a standalone bill that'll be going in front of Ways next. This has taken a little bit more time to capture some of the fluid situation with opioid recovery. This is part of our comprehensive approach to doing some real good stuff in Minnesota. So with that, I guess I was just looking for a little more time, but we're ready to go, and I appreciate the waiver, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any discussion? Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The motion prevails. Next, I'll move the resolution to amend the LCC Legislative Plan for Employee and Policies as adopted by the House on January 8th, 2015 be approved and would Ms. Knight please come to the testifying table and explain the resolution.
Madam Chair, members, I'm Kelly Knight with the House Human Resources Department. The language that you have before you was approved by the LCC on Monday, and we anticipate it also being approved by the Senate Rules Committee in the coming days. And this language reflects a change in the contracts, and it inserts paid parental leave in with our leaves that the House currently has. And it's leave up to 6 weeks, paid leave, following the birth or adoption of a dependent child or when a child is placed in the employee's home to adjudicate parentage in cases of surrogacy, when the employee is the intended parent. The leave is to be taken within 1 year after the child's birth or arrival in the home. It also runs concurrently with any unpaid leave that parents may be entitled to under the plan or provided by law. And the leave applies to children that are born or arriving in the home on or after the date this language is adopted by this committee.
Thank you, Ms. Knight. Are there any questions? Representative Portman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wonder what would be the fiscal impact of making this retroactive to December 14th, 2016?
Ms. Knight? Did you want to move your amendment right now, or did you want to?
Just to ask the question
Okay.
first.
If we, Madam Chair, members, it's difficult to say. There are a couple pieces to this. One is for any staffer that took salary savings leave during that period of time, they would, I assume, retroactively want to insert the paid parenting leave in either calendar year 16 or calendar year 17. And if we were to do that for up to the limits of the paid parenting leave, that estimated cost would be $23,000. There is, if someone chose to reinstate vacation time for the time that they had taken and insert now paid parental leave, then the max the impact on that would be $94,000. So that's best guess.
Representative Portman.
Thank you, Ms. Knight. Is that a per employee number or a total cost?
Ms. Knight?
Madam Chair, members, that's a total cost.
So, Madam Chair, my understanding is that when we approved the state contracts and we finally approved the paid parental leave, we made it retroactive. And to me, it seems fair to treat our employees the same fashion that we would treat the employees under the state contracts. So, and I understand that we don't have enough clarity of information this morning. I wonder if you would entertain delaying a vote on this provision until we can kind of get a very clear picture from House Human Resources of what the cost impact would be of the retroactivity, so we can make an informed decision.
Representative Portman, I'd rather take a vote on the resolution now, and if anything should change. I did get Ms. Knight, I know could talk about it more, but there are a number of reasons that I think it's problematic administratively. And I think it is a little bit different than the executive branch, because the information I have here says that in order to get this, they'd have to be employed for 6 months before they're eligible. And also, the House employees can take an additional 6 weeks of their accrued time, which the executive branch cannot. So I think that there's some administrative issues with dealing with retirement and whatnot. So I think that there's going to be some complications, and that we're probably likely not going to be going to move forward with it. So I prefer to either vote on your amendment today if you want to do that.
Sure.
Or to just, if you didn't want to do that, to just vote on the resolution as is, and we can continue to have some discussions. But from the information I have right now, it looks a little bit problematic from the administrative point of view.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. I just think in the interest of our employees that we should be observing the same retroactivity for the legislative branch employees that we did for the executive branch employees. And, if there's any chance we're going to have a more peaceful resolution without me moving this amendment and having a roll call on it, I'm happy to not do that. I just am trying to gauge the degree of flexibility I hear from the chair.
Representative Portman, I think it's problematic. So in all honesty, I think that the likelihood if you were to move it today would be that it would go down because there are several problems. Ms. Knight, feel free to chime in if you'd like to as well. But I have several talking points on some of the issues that it would create. So I'll leave it to you whether you want to move it and vote on it today or keep discussions open going forward. But I will, just to be honest, I would say that it's problematic picking winners and losers. And there's the whole retirement issue, and it's a lot of issues.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair, and members, I won't move the amendment and do a roll call, but I think it's regrettable that we're not providing this benefit to employees who've been here, some of whom have been here for a very long time and really deserve this, because I can see the writing on the wall on the results of the motion, and so I won't make that, and I won't have members be on record voting against it.
Thank you, Representative Fortman, and I do agree that it is unfortunate that we're not able to kind of pick up some of the folks that have been impacted in the last couple of years. But on the positive side, we are making this change going forward, and I think we're doing the right thing by our employees, and so I appreciate that. Is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing no further discussion, I'll renew my motion that the resolution to amend the LCC Legislative Plan for Employee and Policies be approved. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The motion does prevail. That is all the business for today. Meeting adjourned.